Hello, lovely people, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Wednesday, the 24th of July, 2019. Thank you for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm using the Radiant Rider-Waite deck for today's reading. If you're learning the tarot, this is the deck that is based on the original Rider-Waite deck. All they've done is they've modernized it. They've updated the colors and they've made the borders around each character a little neater and modernized the deck. This is the skeleton key. If you know this deck, you will be able to read any deck out there. So if you want to learn the tarot, take my course on the website, get this deck, the Radiant Rider-Waite deck or the original Rider-Waite deck, whichever you prefer. And once you know these cards, you will know all the other decks that are out there, and you'll just be able to pick up a deck, unpack it, and use it the way I do on this channel. Also, just FYI, this is totally off topic, but if you're considering a move and you're moving in England and you like peace and quiet, don't move to Brighton. That's why I'm doing the reading here in my office today, and that's why I might sound a bit echoey, because there's more drilling, more scaffolding, more work that's happening, ambulances, all sorts of things. So we make do, we adapt when things are challenging. So let me have a look at what the cards want you to be aware of today and what the energy is about. And when it comes to shuffling the cards, you shuffle the cards until you feel you've reached that point where the tarot says, okay, this is what I want to say. So it's about building a relationship with these cards. There we go. We've got the Nine of Cups, the Four of Cups, and the Knight of Wands in reverse. Beautiful. The Nine of Cups is, you can see a pub landlord there. He's looking rather jolly and rather happy with himself. And the arms crossed don't seem unwelcoming. You know, body language wise, usually when you have your arms crossed, you come across as defensive. But he doesn't. He almost looks welcoming, because he's displaying all of these cups behind him. He's saying, look at what I've got. And the Nine of Cups is all of your desires, all of your dreams, all of your hopes coming true. And the pub landlord is a symbol of generosity. And what he does is he throws a party, and he's got so much good in his life that he's got an abundance of it so that he can give it away freely. He can share the love with his friends and family and children. And it's all about joy and feeling the joy and sharing that joy in a way that makes him happy and that makes him feel like he's expressing a genuine feeling, and he's building good karma for himself because he's putting out beautiful, loving, wonderful energy. So he's going to create more things that he can be grateful for. So this is the perfect card in the sense that when you get yourself vibrating on the frequency of this pub landlord, you're really in the perfect place. You give your love away freely. You are generous with people. You are kind. You bring joy into their lives. You don't need anything in return. You're welcoming, you're friendly. You give people a sense of belonging and hope. And when you're able to do that for people, you make lifelong friends, and people will be grateful to you. And when the tables are turned, and when things aren't going so great for the pub landlord, then he's got lots of people who he can reach out to and say, I need some help at the moment because I'm in a different place now. So today, the Nine of Cups is here. The pub landlord is in a wonderful place of having riches and abundance and more than he can use himself. So he's throwing a party. He's giving away all of these wonderful joy-filled cups, and it's a day of celebration with other people. So accept the gift, have fun, make friends, create new relationships, say hello to people you don't know yet, and meet friends who aren't your friends yet. The next card is the Four of Cups. There is the potential to say, not so interested. Got enough friends, got enough family members, have enough joy in my life. I don't need any more. So that would be silly. Interesting also that his arms are crossed, and he looks very similar to the pub landlord, but he's not happy. The pub landlord is happy. So by being welcoming and presenting, you will create joy. When you reject and you dismiss things, you're not creating joy. You're creating anger. You're muddying the waters. You're going to feel guilty and upset afterwards, because the universe is offering you a gift, and because you're inflexible, you're not accepting that gift, and you're saying, I've got enough to work with. And we're not blaming him. You know, sometimes life can get really busy, and let's say he's got things going on. He's changing jobs in a couple of weeks. He needs to relocate. He's getting the movers in. He wants to repaint the new place that he's moving into before he gets there, so he needs to organize that. He's also thrown out his back, so he's got to see a chiropractor. He's in no mood to party and to enjoy. So, of course, he's going to say thank you, but no thank you. And no one would blame him for that, because when you have that much on your plate, you don't need even more. So it almost seems like an insult to him, saying, do you know what? Can you just leave me alone for a second? I've got so much going on. I don't want your gift. I never asked for this. This blessing that you're giving me is not something that I wanted. I didn't pray for it. I didn't ask for it. And you can take it. You can take it back. And that is understandable, but it's not wise. It's not prudent. Because when the universe does hand you a gift, the polite thing to do is to say thank you and to accept it. So try, and what the universe is doing is it's nudging you and it's saying, yes, you've got a lot going on, but try and live in the moment, because there's joy in your life today. You don't need to be angry today. You don't need to go on this big mission and scream people into following your path or your directions. You don't need to puff yourself up and rage and throw temper tantrums so you intimidate those around you and you get them to fall in line. You don't need to do that today. So you may have a lot on. Try and make space for the joyous things that are available to you, and try and accept this cup that the universe is giving you, because if you don't, in hindsight, like I said, you'll regret it. So if there is a barbecue, if there is an event, if there is a dinner party that you've been invited to, if there is a baby shower or a gift-giving ceremony or a graduation or a potential meeting with a relative, anything like that, don't look a gift horse in its mouth. Accept the gift and be grateful for it and make the most of it. It will make you feel passionate, emotionally fulfilled, and it will bring out your true calm nature. So it's a reprieve from your everyday worries, and you're able to just enjoy the positive, loving, marvelous energy of the day, rather than be involved in all of the struggle and the conflict and the organization that you have to do. You can still do part of that on this day, but be open and flexible to receive good things too. The Knight of Cups this way around, he's just mastering the element of fire, and he is on his life mission, and sometimes he's too much. He's overly aggressive. He really cares about something. So let's say he's designing a new product and he's given the specifications and his designers give him back the product and he's like, what is this? This is not what I wanted. And he starts screaming at them and he says, who are you people? You're all fired. I didn't want this. And he really just goes overboard in terms of his negative feedback. At other times, the Knight of Wands is so passionate about certain things that he gallops off into the completely wrong direction. And he focuses and he gives his energy to something completely meaningless. Like, let's say he was working on a film set and he is really, really annoyed about the backdrop not having enough green in it. But the real problem is the script, that the dialogue is stiff and wooden and it makes no sense. But what he's doing as a producer of the film is worrying about the greenness in the backdrop. So he's just fired up over something that's completely irrelevant. And if he stepped back a little bit and stopped being so emotional and full on and looked at the whole thing overall, like this man, instead of being so overwhelmed by all of the things that he has to do, and instead he said, let me look at the entire picture. The pub landlord is busy too. He has to get shipments in and he has to serve customers, but he has the time to sit back and to say, look at what I've achieved. And that's the thing that all these three men ought to do today. To say, this is my day. I've got certain responsibilities. I will meet those responsibilities, but I'm not going to go overboard. I'm going to not get myself in a tizzy about things that are really irrelevant. I'm not going to freak out over minutiae and details. I'm going to look at the bigger picture. And what I'm going to try and do today is squeeze every ounce of goodness and joy and happiness from this day, because it's being handed to me on a silver platter. And I'm not going to be an ungrateful misery guts who feels like life is just giving him sour grapes and lemons, and he has to make lemonade, whereas the lemonade is being presented to him. So it's a mixed day. And sometimes days aren't mixed. Sometimes days are just negative, where you have to fight your way through and you have to argue with people and you do have to really just make your way through it. And the only thing that you can do at the end of the day is put your head on the pillow and say, okay, I got through that. Success. But then there are good days where you go for picnics and you enjoy and you make love and you laugh your head off and you have fun and you share drinks and you clink and toast to others' health. And those days are wonderful, and you put your head on the pillow in the evening and you say, thank you, God, for giving me such a joyous, beautiful, wonderful day. Thank you for giving me so many gifts in my life and making my experience so rich. And that's the difference here today. You've got a choice. You're busy. You've got difficult things to sort out. We all do. Even the pub landlord does. But the important thing is that you keep your temper and you also don't let anxiety get the best of you. You try and schedule things out as best you can, and you deal with the things that you have going on. So be organized, be an administrator, try and split your day into different sections and really get very organized. From 8 to 10, we're doing the school thing. From 10 to 12, we're doing the housework. From 12 to 2, we're doing the lunch and the meeting with the principal. From 2 to 4, we're doing the parent evening, teaching, whatever. And then in the evening, we're going to the neighbor's party that they're throwing, and they have invited us. And it's a wonderful opportunity for us to enjoy ourselves and to get to know our neighbors better. So accept invitations. Dig deep for energy that you may not feel you have, and take part in something joyous and fun and positive, because it is going to make you feel good, and it's going to add something, another cup to your life that you can feel good about. And, you know, when you don't take charge of your life and when you don't celebrate when times are good, you're being a fool, because things aren't always good. And you've got to recognize when the good times are rolling that you've got to put aside the little things that are imperfect, because life is never going to be perfect. But you've got to be wise enough to say, okay, I'm putting these imperfections aside and I'm going to celebrate that times are good. And I'm going to enjoy the good luck and the joy that's in my life. I'm not going to waste it. Number-wise, we've got 9 and 4 is 13 and 1 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5, and 5 is emotional freedom, happiness, joy, marvel, wonders, rainbows, unicorns, love, happiness, joy. So there's the potential to connect with other people. There's the potential for love. There's the potential to make new friends. The opportunities really are endless. Cups represent hopes and dreams. So any hopes and dreams you may have can come true today. And all you have to do is open your arms and accept what's given to you free of charge by the universe, and make space and realize that you have more time and energy than you think. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy it. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. I use the tarot, I use astrology and numerology in my personal readings. Have a glorious day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.